Hello, Cougar Nation, and welcome to Geisman Gymnasium for part one of a doubleheader between the Concordia Chicago Cougars and the Lakeland University Muskies. It's the women's teams up first on this basketball Saturday. Concordia Chicago women's team taking on the Lakeland Muskies women's team. And these are two teams that, honestly, pretty even seasons up to this point. When we look at the Cougars first, the Cougars, bit of a rough start to the season through that non-con, and then you make it into that conference, and it has been a good season so far in NAC play for Concordia Chicago. They're 4-3 for conference play. They're coming off of a big win on the road on the south side, taking down Illinois Tech, and a lot of those signs point to this is going to continue on, Sam. Absolutely. Look over that. Lakeland 7-6 overall. That conference mark is the exact same at 4-3. This is the Lakeland Muskies team again, Eric, that is looking to put up some big totals as they go through the rest of conference play.
Yeah, like you said, they had a bit of a rough start to the season, but they've been on a roll recently. I believe won 5 out of their last 6, and their one loss was a very narrow loss to Benedictine. So they definitely have momentum on the side as we're getting to the back half of the conference schedule.
Absolutely, and now we're just going to take a quick look at those players for these teams. And starting out for CUC, Sam, there's a couple big players here, and we got one from 2 different parts of the game. One of those, Ione Mura, has been a huge part of this team's success, especially from beyond the arc as of late, providing an offensive spark to that team from out there. She's shooting well over 30% from beyond 3, a mark that the team as a whole is hitting. But the performance at the boards is another thing that the Cougars have been focusing on as well. Absolutely, Sam. And now looking over to the Lakeland side, Eric, who should we be looking out for from the Muskies?
The big player I'm looking out for is Alexis Johnson. She's the lead team leader in points. She's averaging 13 points a game. She has been a very dominant force for them recently. She's always averaged about 3 or 4 rebounds. She has been the driving factor for the Lakeland offense.
Absolutely, and then it's the other Johnson, Lauren Johnson, who's been the driving factor at the boards, averaging 5.3 rebounds per game, second on the team there, and shooting 50% from the field. Get ready to go for today, guys. We'll start off with you, Eric. What's your key to the game for the Cougars? What do they need to do to win today?
I think the Cougars need to keep their turnovers down and then get points off Lakeland turnovers. In the Cougars game against IIT, they only had 9 turnovers, and they forced a lot from the Scarlet Hawks and were able to turn those into points. If they can do that again today, they'll be very set up to get the win.
Absolutely, and in general, the Cougars, for me, they need to force a 3-point shooting contest. They're second in the conference since NAC play has started in 3-point percentage. They've been very hot from there as of late. Lakeland, they're in the bottom half. If the Cougars can make it that kind of a matchup, they can come out on top today. We're about to get going here in Geisman Gymnasium. I'm Jonathan Shear with Eric Perry and Sam Smith on the sidelines. Don't go too far away because we'll be right back for the start of the game between the Cougars and the Muskies. Hello, Cougar Nation, and welcome to Geisman Gymnasium. We're about ready for tip-off between the Cougars and the Muskies. It's Grace King going up to the line against Jeriatu Sissy from Lakeland. Get things going for these two squads after tip. We'll run through the starters, but the ball is up. King tips it over. It's still loose, and it's going to be loose, thrown through the legs of Navia Jackson, but the Cougars come out with it. Bit of a hectic tip-off there, Eric.
Yeah, everyone was diving all over for the ball. Lakeland tried to save it, and it ended up in the hands of the Cougs.
Now Concordia with the first possession. Yonemera at the top, slashing in, going up for the layup, and it bounces in. Yonemera strikes first, and the Cougars are up 2-0.
Nice play there by Yonemura. She saw that there's a little bit of gap there, drove between the two Muskie players and laid it off the glass.
And there's a steal for Yonemura, a soft pass straight to the guard. Now a mid-range jumper for Jackson, and it is a strong start for Concordia.
And it starts with that good lockdown defense right at center court by the Cougs. Forced a bad pass where Yonemura was just able to dump the ball down to Jackson, who had the nice and easy floater.
There's a long ball into the corner. Slung out over to Grabau. Long three, no good. Rebounded by King. They'll call for a jump ball. So possession will stay with Lakeland. They'll get another shot.
You can expect Grace King to be in those types of situations all night, all day today. She's been the leader for the Cougs and rebounding, just a big presence in the paint.
Johnson slinging to Grabo. Now Johnson on the perimeter, goes inside to Bartlett. Bartlett slinging all the way across to Levra. Her three is no good, rebounded by Lopez.
Muskies have twice gone for that corner three and are 0 for 2 so far.
Yonemera calling the plays. She's going to slash in again on the ground to Jackson. Jackson looking inside now. Posting up, going up with it, and no good, rebounded by Bartlett.
Bit of a rough angle for Jackson. She just had to try to turn and throw it up. That's put a little bit too much off it.
Bartlett going up for the layup. It's off the side of the backboard, but she manages to grab it, chuck it off of Grace King, and give her team a second chance at a bucket.
That was a good reaction by Bartlett off the missed shot. That was quick thinking to keep the ball in Muskie possession.
There's an easy inbound. Should have been an easy layup for Levra. Third chance goes for Johnson. And that's the first points of the day for Lakeland. Alexis Johnson, good for 2. Yonemera sends Lopez across. Taking ISO on the near side. King coming for the screen. Yonemera driving, slashing. Lopez corner three, and she drills in. Nothing but net.
That was great ball movement there by the Cougs. Yonemura saw Lopez was open in the corner, got it to her, and Lopez drilled that one.
Grabo loses her dribble. It's taken away by Jackson. Jackson and Pedraza all alone. Jackson's shot doesn't go. Pedraza's second chance draws the foul. And we'll see Sofia Pedraza head to the line. First trip to the line, first foul of the day for either of these teams.
And we're seeing here in the first 2.5 minutes, Jonathan, the Cougars defense has done a very good job of cutting down the passing lanes for the Muskies, making it so that the Muskies are having to make more difficult, more contested passes to try to move the ball.
Pedraza's first shot is good. Looking to go 2 for 2. And she does so. 7-point lead early for Concordia. There goes Levra slinging across to Johnson. She'll take the corner three. Jump stop, no good. Rebounded by Yonemera. Cougs taking advantage of a bit of pace. Now they'll slow it up. Pedraza going inside to Lopez. Can't get it to her, and it's out of bounds. First turnover of the day on the Cougars.
Yeah, it's a little bit of miscommunication there between Pedraza and Lopez.
Johnson slinging to Vaitkevachuta. Freshman forward now into the game. Johnson looking somewhere to go, slinging out deep for Bartlett. A long three. No good off the back of the rim, still loose. Finally rebounded by Levra. Levra's double team, can't get out of it. And Pedraza forces the jump ball. That's going to go to the Cougars.
And again, Jonathan, the Cougar defense has done a very good job at shutting down the interior for the Muskies and forcing them to try to move the ball around the perimeter, which the Muskies just haven't been able to do so far.
They're able to get the inbound. Lakeland now showing a little bit of a press, not a high one. Yone Mera slashing to the baseline on the ground to King. Goes for 2 and 1! King draws the foul and she'll head to the line to make it a 3-point play.
You want to talk about some beautiful ball movement, Jonathan, and that was just a masterclass. Yone Mera moved the ball on a perfect pass to King, who, in spite of the contact, hit the bucket anyway.
And King hits it. 3-point play for Grace King. Cougars lead by 10, 3.5 minutes into the game. It is a strong start for Concordia. Abler into the game for the first time. Goes to Levra. Levra trying to go low to Johnson. Triple teamed, but she's able to get it up.
That was a nice play by Johnson, just turn and get the ball up and in spite of the Concordia defenders.
Now Pedraza will go over to Yone Mera. Cougars slowing it down a little bit. Yone Mera slinging to Lopez. Wide open three again. First timeout called on the day from head coach Ashley Lona of the Muskies. The Cougars hot.
And yeah, if you're Ashley Lopez, you got to call that timeout because the Cougars have just been a house of fire to start this game. They can barely miss.
And we'll take our first media time, and then we'll send it out to Sam Smith on the sideline.
Hey, Jonathan, hot start for the Cougars. They're up 11 already, and it seems like they're pretty okay with Lakeland shooting that open three, like you talked about in the pregame. They're 0 for 4, and the Cougars' offense just looks hot all around. 15 points early here. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sam, and like you talked about there, Sam, that three-point shooting, we talked about it in the pregame. If the Cougars can make this a three-point shootout, it'll go well for the Cougars. They haven't really made it a three-point shootout yet. It's getting to that point. An 11-point lead already puts the Muskies in a hole, and you can kind of see that difference there. The Cougars, they've been hot from three, but what's more impressive is those 2 threes for the Cougars today, 2 for 2. They're both from Hannah Lopez. They're not even contested threes. That last three from Lopez was just a blown defensive coverage. Yone Mera slung it over to her. No one's coming over to cover. No one from the help side. No one down low. They're content leaving her there open. It looks like Lakeland is playing some sort of zone.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. They've been playing a zone, and the zone's been focused in just in the middle of the court, and as a result of the Cougar movements, has just on several occasions so far left Lopez wide open to shoot the three.
Yeah, it looks like the Cougars, they're almost overloading it, that zone. They're not adjusting to the Cougars, setting a lot of players to the same side of the court so far, and it's working out well for Concordia. We'll see how the Lakeland comes out of their first timeout of the day. Abler is going to get fouled on the edge by Pedraza, first of the day on the Cougars.
Yeah, Adler was moving down the court. Pedraza tried to get the reach around, poke the ball away, but just ended up hitting Adler on the side there.
Now onto the court as well is Sonia Pagan. And then stolen, knocked away by Grace King, picked up by Pedraza, trying to sling down to Jackson, and it's loose and out of bounds off of Jackson. Pedraza tried to thread the needle, and it was just too small of a window.
Yeah, Pagan had just come up right through and was able to get the ball.
And now Lakeland tagged with a carry. Another turnover.
I think it was an over and back, I think is what they called.
Either way, Lakeland, another mistake, another turnover. They're already their 6th of the game through just 4.5 minutes. And the Cougars, leading by 11, are going to get another possession.
And that's what happens when you get in a hole early. You become more frantic, try to make up points.
Yone Mera stops, jumps from the free throw line, and drills it.
When you get in the hole early, you get more frantic with your passes and your ball movement, and that causes you to make more mistakes if you're trying to get points quickly.
Johnson trying to go low to Vetkeva-Chuda. And couldn't get there. Grace King sprinting in, slapping it out. And now the freshman, Vetkeva-Chuda, will get subbed out of the game. Into the game, again, is Jerry Sissi, as well as the former Cougar, the sophomore Sydney Nimsakant, played for Concordia last year and transferred over to Lakeland before this season. Nimsakant down in the corner, trying to escape, floats it up to Abler, thought about three, now they'll swing it all the way to the corner. Graybo finally hits. Lakeland gets one of those corner threes to go, and they end the Cougars' run and their drought, and it's a 10-point game.
Yeah, Lakeland finally managed to hit that corner three that they've been looking for so frequently here in the first 5 minutes.
Yone Mura slashing in, kicking out to Lopez, wide open again, and she hits again. Hannah Lopez, a perfect 3 for 3 to start her day.
Hannah Lopez has just been going berserk from three here so far.
Graybo pinned deep by Pedraza, and would have been out of bounds. It's off the official, but tipped that way by Pedraza. So it'll stay with the Muskies.
And one thing that won't show up on the stat sheet, Jonathan, is how many times the Cougars have been running around tipping the ball and making it so that Lakeland, even if they retain possession, have to keep adjusting.
Abler going to Nimsakant. Nimsakant has to back out, puts it inside to Pagan. Pagan slinging all the way across to Graybo. That one's no good. Still loose on the rebound, picked up by Graybo. Now she'll go out to Abler. Abler working her way in. Kicking out to Nimsakant. She'll go for three, and she'll drill it. Her first three back in Geisman Gymnasium as a Muskie. Yone Mura trying to sling to Lopez, able to get it to her. Now all the way down in the corner is Grace King. King handing off to Yone Mura, thought about stopping. Now she'll take the long two, and she'll hit it again. Cougars, lights out so far today. Yone Mura, 3 for 3 as well. Graybo on the near side, going to Nimsakant. Nimsakant chucking it up for Pagan. Pagan going all the way across to nobody. Lauren Martin picks it up on the sidelines, and that's another turnover.
I don't know where Pagan was going with that one. Maybe she thought Abler was going to come back down, but there was just not a Cougar or not a Muskie in sight there.
It looks to me like I think it was Pagan on that side, maybe Graybo. One of the Muskies tried to make something happen and cut out. And there's another three from the Cougars. Abby Dykstra.
And this is just an insanely hot start by the Cougs. They've been just on fire.
And Sissy takes the one stop, gets the easy layup. 4 for 4 on the day. 3 of those threes from Lopez, 1 of them from Dykstra. The Cougars 9 for 11 total from the field, and 81% shooting split to start the day. And that'll tag an offensive foul on Yone Mura as she tried to slash in. They'll tag her with a shove.
Johnson was playing some tough defense there on Yone, was able to get squarely in front and set the feet. So when Yone Mura moved, it just made contact with Johnson and shoved her a bit.
So Lakeland trailing by 13, 2.5 to go in the first quarter. Nimsakant trying to drive. Double teamed, just flailing to the baseline. It's out of bounds, and it's going to be Cougars ball. It's an unwieldy drive through the baseline, trying to make something happen, nothing doing. Lopez going to Jackson. And Jackson stopping, cutting right, taking it herself, throwing it up, and she draws the foul.
Jackson saw the path. She saw that she had an opportunity to go all the way, and she went for it. She just got some contact on the way up.
And to the credit of Lakeland, they're 4 for their last 5 as well. Both of these teams are shooting very well in the last couple of minutes. The problem for Lakeland is that they were not shooting well, and the Cougars have been shooting well since the game started, and there's still a 13-point gap. And I'll say it, a 13-point gap for now.
Yeah, and also what you don't see on the shot tells that Lakeland has also had several opportunities where they've been driving the ball and then just make an errant pass and it goes straight out of bounds.
Jackson hits the second, so 1 for 2. Makes it a 14-point lead for Concordia. Nimscott breaks the press. They'll sling across to Graybo. Graybo slashing, baseline. Going to Sissy, and Sissy wasn't ready for it. It's another turnover. Jackson driving again herself, putting up the layup, and it's good again.
The Cougars are just getting everything to fall.
Nimscott, she'll take another 3. That one's short. Rebounded by Johnson, easy putback.
That was nice position there by Johnson off the missed 3 by Nimscott. She was in the perfect spot, just had to turn and put it back off the glass.
Jackson running point. Looking for somewhere to go. Cuts right. It's tipped away. Still loose. And it's taken away by Graybo, but they're going to tag a foul on Sadie Graybo.
Yeah, it looks like when there was that brief moment there where the Graybo was poking the ball, she was reaching out a little bit too much contact there on Jackson.
Lakeland not going to be the most pleased with that call. It'll give the Cougars a reset possession, and it'll also allow Yone Mera to come back into the game for Concordia. Jocelyn Shamas on the near side, slinging over to Pedraza. Pedraza all the way across. Dykestra well short on that 3. That'll go out of bounds. It'll be Lakeland ball.
Yeah, Dykstra tried to position herself when that pass came in, angled around the Muskie, just ended up shorting it a little bit.
Sissy able to get it to Graybo Cougars. They've been dialing up that press in the last couple minutes of the quarter. 55 to go in the quarter. Nimscott starts working it around. Now they'll go to Johnson in the paint. The Euro step, no good. And that's going to be a jump ball. It'll stay with Lakeland.
Good interior defense there by the Cougs. Lakeland got the offensive rebound, but the Cougars were able to clamp it down immediately and force the jump ball on the second shot attempt.
Johnson goes inside to Abler. Abler has it tipped away. They'll go to Johnson in the corner. Johnson driving, baseline, and she's fouled. Grace King tagged with it. And it'll be another reset possession for the Muskies. 36.6 to go in the quarter. Cougars lead by 14. Nimscott at the top of the key, and she's going to draw the foul on Yone Mera. Another blocking foul. And the shot clock team getting their work in today. Another reset on possession for Lakeland.
And Cougars head coach Lauren Martin arguing that call. She thought that it was just some tight defense there by Yone Mera. It wasn't anything that warranted a foul call.
There's a long ball. It's loose. Johnson's able to pick it up. She breaks the double team, drives in, kicking out for Levra. Three's no good. Loose in the paint, out of bounds off of King. So that'll be another reset on possession.
Now with 11 and a half seconds left, no shot clock. Muskies can hold for the last shot.
Yeah, 60-second possession for Lakeland. Sissy down low, puts it up. No good. Abler chucks it up. Sissy can't get the last shot off in time. It's no good anyways. A 60-second possession. And Lakeland not able to get one through the net. It's a 14-point lead for Concordia as they come out shooting to start the day. We'll take a quick break here on the Cougar Sports Network. We'll be back for quarter number 2 in just a minute. Cougars starting possession off in the second quarter with a 14-point lead. Concordia 77% shooting from the field, an 80% clip from 3 through the first quarter.
Yeah, Cougars have just been unstoppable.
Lopez finally misses a three-pointer. That one well short, going for almost an Aggie swish. Lakeland chance to cut into that 14-point deficit. Slinging all the way across to Nimsicon. Levra going inside to Johnson. Johnson, short stop to Sissy. Easy reverse for the big man.
That was good movement there. Sissy was just wide open. They tried to make it a hook shot.
Dykstra chance for a 3, no good. Short again, rebounded by Levra. And now we had the first foul tagged on Jocelyn Chamas, and she'll get quickly subbed right back out of the game.
Interesting inbound strategy there. Didn't see any opportunity, just put it straight off the Cougs.
And that inbound is going to go over the head of Levra. Jackson has it, one-on-one, picks it up, and gets the foul.
The second Nevaeh Jackson saw that pass go high, it was off to the races. She did not slow down. She booked it, got the ball, and put it off the glass through the contact.
Chance for a three-point play from Jackson. A freshman out of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. As she puts it in, Jackson now up to 8 points on the day. Lever going quickly to Nimsicon, slashing in and slinging for Ariana Vaitkevichuda.
And Nimsicon was trying to get that past the Cougar defense. She just sent it like a rocket, but Vaitkevichuda wasn't able to come up with it.
Pedraza working down court. Slinging to Lopez in the corner. They'll get the reset. And Jackson's just going to drive. High pass over to Yone Mera. Yone Mera driving, baseline, stopping, slinging for Lopez. Now to Jackson. Jackson, mid-range, 5 on the shot clock, going to King. 4-3. King's got to put up a 3. And it's and 1! Grace King, the hoop and the harm on the 3! How about that for the sophomore?
A desperation three just to avoid the shot clock violation. King drilled it, and now he's got the opportunity for a 4-point play. That was just incredible by King. Wow.
King's 1 for 1 at the line today. Make it 2 for 2. The rare 4-point play. You'll see that maybe once a season from a team. Cougars, a 19-point lead. That's a loose ball broken up. Johnson's able to escape with it to Nimsicon. Now Abler kicking over to Levra. She'll take the three. No good. Misses the rim completely. And there's a loose ball taken away by Grace King. Another turnover. And it's all turning up Cougs right now.
The Cougs have just been doing a beautiful job of forcing Lakeland to try to run around the perimeter.
Yone Mera puts up the quick jumper, and she's fouled. She'll head to the line for 2.
I mean, talk about how important points off turnovers are, Jonathan. You know, you want to get the ball away from the team and then turn around and score yourselves. The Cougars have 22 points off turnovers to the Muskies 0.
Yeah, and that's going to kill you. You always want to win the turnover margin. It's not, and especially the points over turnovers, it's not always going to be the decider. Here today, that is more than the difference maker. And not only is allowing the Cougars extend it, it's killing any chance the Muskies have to come back.
You want to hear a crazy stat? In their game against IIT, the Cougars had a total through 4 quarters of 20 points off turnovers. They've already hit 24.
Yone Mera hits both free throws. And there's another turnover. Pagan just chucks it out of bounds again.
The Muskies just don't know what to do, Jonathan.
The Cougars lead by 21, and the Muskies look like they're lost on the court right now.
Cougars have scored 9 points in a minute.
Lopez slinging for Yone Mera, going over to Jackson. Uncontested three, well short, still loose, and that's going to be a jump ball. That'll go over to the Muskies. And if anything's working out for Lakeland, at least the possession arrow is.
Yeah, you know, Muskies, at least they got the possession arrow going their way.
And they've done an actually very good job with forcing those jump balls Lakeland has. There's been 4 jump balls already today. But there's another turnover. Errant pass stolen by Pedraza. And then her own pass is stolen. Got a bit too hungry going for Jackson. And they'll tag a foul on Yone Mera on the shot.
And that's Yone Mera's 3rd early.
That is not ideal.
No.
For the Cougars and their star point guard. Yone Mera already through 1 quarter and 3 minutes, 13 minutes of playtime, 10 minutes on the court, 8 points, 6 assists.
Yeah, it does hurt to lose her, but you know, you look, the love has been spread so far through other players, so losing her isn't the massive hit. Obviously it is a hit, but it's not the massive hit it would be in other instances.
So the second free throw's missed. Lakeland's able to rebound it and get the points. So 3-point play for the Muskies. You need something to go well for you. Get it there. But now Pedraza chucks up a 3, totally airballed. Yone Mera with the rebound. Grace King with a bucket from the free throw line, and Lauren Martin's going to take a timeout.
And that 3 might have been a little bit short, but it was still some good movement. Yone Mera was in the perfect spot. She grabbed the ball, dished it to King, who hit the bucket, and got it back to a 20-point lead.
And as we get our first timeout of the second quarter, we'll send it down to Sam Smith, see what he's been seeing out there.
Hey guys, incredible start from the Cougars. They're up 20, and it just feels like they could do no wrong. They forced 13 turnovers, and they've been scoring off turnovers, no problem. They've been hot from the three-point line. They've really just been doing almost everything right today. This is the Pack the Stands game. There's a game after this, and you could tell that they're playing with energy. The fans are here. The fans are loud, and just an overall just picture perfect start from the Cougars in this first half. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sam. Like you said, like he was saying, it's been a hot start for the Cougs. They're shooting 65% from the field, 50% from three, and they've just been doing a great job, Jonathan, at getting the ball around and finding the best possible shots.
And that's the buzzer on the timeout. We'll get back into play. Cougars, they lead by 20 through 13 and a half minutes. The lead was 21. Lakeland got a little bit of get back with a three-point play, but the Muskies, part of it is they haven't been able to string together enough consistent scoring. Part of it is they're not able to stop the Cougars consistently. The Cougars haven't gone on a long drought yet today. They'll miss a shot, they'll miss another shot, but then they'll make that third shot. And that's kind of where the Muskies haven't been able to come back, is that Cougars, they're playing consistently, and that's really what you need to do as a basketball team. Abler going to Nimsicant. Sydney Nimsicant swinging middle, going down low to Lauren Johnson. Takes a free throw length shot. And then she fouls on the rebound. First foul of the day on Lauren Johnson in her first minutes of the day.
And if you're
it's
Lakeland,
Megan McPhee, actually, who's in the game, number 32.
If you're Lakeland, that's the shot you need. You had a pretty much wide open jumper from the free throw line. Muskey just couldn't get it to fall.
It's the exact same shot Grace King hit on the last Cougars possession. Cougars' current possession, taking their time, long ball over to Dykestra, going down low to Lopez, able to kick it out to Pedraza. Now Jackson going in to Lopez, back to Pedraza, back to Jackson. Nice triangle passing drill going. 3 on the shot clock. You got to put it up. Jackson gets it up and in. Use it all. 30 on that possession.
There have been several instances in this game, Jonathan, where the Cougars will run the shot clock out, but then still get the shot to fall anyway.
And on defense, you just can't give up. As that shot clock goes down, you have to assume that the offense is going to play all the way through the 30.
Yeah, you got to assume that the offense, especially this high-powered Cougars offense today, is going to use every single second they have, and even if there's 1 second left, they're still going to turn and try to get a shot off.
There's another foul on the Cougars. That one tagged on Dykestra. Lakeland gets a reset possession. Bartlett will inbound. She has Pagan on the inbound. Going to Nimsicant. Puts up the layup. No good. Rebounded by Pedraza. Going quickly to Dykestra. Dykestra able to hang on as Graybow takes a flyer at it. And that pass is picked off by Sissy. Sissy hits the one-on-one layup. And it's back to a 20-point game.
Yeah, Dykestra just didn't see Sissy coming there to break up the pass from her to King, and then Sissy went coast to coast with it.
Yonemare going over to Lopez, able to keep it inbounds. There's a three, and a high rainbow from Shamas! That one nearly got all the way up to the banners.
Shamas just had a beautifully high arc on it, and it went right through the net.
Bartlett slinging for Pagan, uncontested three, no good. Graybow, second chance bucket, no good. Rebounded by Lopez. Cougars still hot, 3 for their last 3, 5 for their last 7. Shamas puts up the running hook, no good.
If a shot like that had gone in, Jonathan, I think this building might have exploded, because that was just a insane shot.
And there's a high arcer from Nimsicant. She holds her head. I don't think that got within a foot of the rim.
And it just wasn't, you could tell she wanted that one. It was top of the key, dead straight, and just didn't have quite enough oomph on it.
I think that last Cougar possession is the first possession I've seen from the Cougars that has been a really bad possession today. It looked like Shamas was making that run to the far side, and there's no one over there for her to dish the pass off to, so she just has to throw up that shot once you leave the ground. But one bad possession through 15 minutes is nothing to scoff at. Making another three, Abby Dykestra. 7th three of the day for the Cougars. They lead by 26.
The Cougar three ball today has been nothing short of absolutely beautiful.
Oh. How about that one? Emma Nickerson, the chase down block on the corner three.
Nickerson said, we're the ones that shoot threes, not you. I'm going to send that one straight out of bounds.
Cougars offense dealing, the Cougars defense locked down. Graybo will take a three, no good. Sissy's put back over the rim, rebounded by Pedraza. Jamas will slow it down, going to Lopez. Lopez over to Pedraza, she'll take a three, she'll hit a three!
What are we witnessing today, Jonathan? What is this game?
29-point lead for Concordia, and there's still 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. And the Cougars on defense get a little greedy, get a little bit aggressive. They take out A.T. Bartlett.
I think it was Pedraza just overcommitted a little bit on that one. Ended up kind of going over the back there.
I mean, when the game's been going the way it's going for you, you feel like you're going to get every steal. You're going to get every shot.
You've got the adrenaline pumping through your veins. You're like, yeah, I can get this steal. Why not?
And to be fair, the Cougars, they've been getting all those turnovers. 13 total. And Pedraza, she's going to slap that pass down. Abler swinging over to Johnson. Thimsicont for three, and she hits it. Ends a 2.5-minute scoring drought for the Muskies.
Also ends the 9-0 Cougars scoring run that they had been on, but still a lot of ground for the Muskies to make up.
Still a 26-point lead. Pedraza going to Lopez. Back over to Pedraza, trying to go into Nickerson. It's tapped away by Bartlett. Johnson straight up to the rim for two.
Good drive there by Johnson. Worked around the Cougar defender and just laid it up off the glass.
Pedraza kicking over to Shamas, over to Lopez. Back to Pedraza. Cougars working the perimeter. Lopez back to Pedraza. Back to Shamas. It's a triangle pass and drill. High three from Shamas. That one's no good. That one's rebounded by Nimsicont. Nimsicont slashing in, kicking out. It'll go to Bartlett for three, and she hits it. That's a high arcer. And it's an 8-point run for the Muskies. They bring the lead down to 21. We'll do our first timeout from Lauren Martin.
And the Muskies, very fortunately, have been able to hit some shots back-to-back, had a pair of threes and a nice layup to, again, just try to wear down this Cougar lead, try to somehow get back in this game. And it's really going to come down to, Jonathan, I think, can the Lakeland defense continually make stops? Because if you can't make up a 20-point deficit.
Absolutely, because the Cougars, they haven't scored in the last minute, but they're still 5 for their last 7. And this is a team from Concordia that this is actually the biggest drought they've had all day, which is pretty crazy to say for any team in a basketball game. It's not good news for the Muskies because they're going to need a lot more of this to climb back into this game.
Yeah, it's, again, Muskies have gone on an 8-0 run in the last minute, but in the minute before that, the Cougars went on a 9-0 run. So you really, if you're the Muskies, you have to find a way to just prolong this and just essentially stop the Cougars from scoring literally any points.
Livia Jackson bringing it down court for the Cougars. That pass over to Lopez is tipped by Johnson. She'll send a return, and Jackson just throws it straight into Johnson. And Johnson gets the layup. It's a 10-0 run. And Jackson in some pain.
She collided hard with that metal barrier on the bleachers there. She went side first directly into it.
And, I mean, best case scenario, that'll bruise and that'll sting. That is a sharp
yeah, you're basically
metal
going
rail.
Full, and you're basically going full speed down the court and just, essentially put all your weight into it and just go directly into it, and that's going to hurt for a day or two at least.
So 10-0 run. It's down to a 19-point game. And this is probably the sloppiest we've seen the Cougars play.
Yeah. And I think, again, there's aspects to that. It's like you haven't had Yonemura on the court for a few minutes. She's been a big part of moving the ball around and getting other players open to make big shots. But now, again, you just got to calm down. You still have a 19-point lead. Just go back to taking the right shots, not making errant passes, and just doing what you do best.
So it will be the Cougars' possession after the bucket from Alexis Johnson. Jackson out of the game. Lopez sling it over to Pedraza, back over to Lopez. Back over to Pedraza. Back over to Lopez. These are high passes. They're going all the way across the court. You don't see this too often from a modern offense. Pedraza slinging for Lopez. She'll get the three off, and it's no good. Misses the rim entirely. Bartlett, 30 seconds left in the half. 22 on the shot clock. Nimsicon, she'll slash in now. Nimsicon can't get the layup. Johnson, side step, long two. Short, rebounded by Nickerson. 15 seconds to go in the half. Cougars will get the last possession and the last shot. 10 to go. Lopez goes to Nickerson. 5 to go. You got to do something. Nickerson spinning. Goes to Pedraza, able to get the shot off and in. A buzzer beater to close the half. And the Cougars, they won't end on a 2.5-minute scoring drought. They'll end with a bucket and head into the locker room leading by 21 over the Muskies. An electric first half for the Cougars. It's 52 to 31 Concordia Chicago as we head to the break. We'll be back later for half number 2 on the Cougar Sports Network.
Turn me up. CUC, what's good? Clap your hands for me. Let's go. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. One time for your mind, now let me hear you say CUC. Say CUC. Say Cougars. Now all the ladies scream! Side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side. Yo, Cougar Nation, I'ma show you how Coach Ken get down. Let me introduce you to True real quick. Check me out, youngin'. Look, standing on my square, yo, I'm sticking to the code. When it come to goats, give me Mike, give me code. Cougar fans crazy, flood you with maroon and gold. Home court advantage even when we on the road. Undisputed, I'ma always be consistent. Unique. Turn me up, McClutch. Yeah. Clap your hands, y'all. Let's go. Yeah. Clap your hands for me. Yeah. One time for your mind, now let me hear you say CUC. Say CUC. Say Cougars. Now all the ladies scream. Wave your hands side to side. Side to side. Side to side. Side to side. Yo, Cougar Nation, I'm going to show you how Coach Ken get down. Let me introduce you to True real quick. Check me out, youngin'. Standing on my square, bro, I'm sticking to the code. When it come to goats, give me Mike, give me Cole. Cougar fans crazy, flood you with maroon and gold. Home court advantage even when we on the road. Undisputed, I'ma always be consistent. Unique with the gear, so the drip be hitting different. Legends are born at crunch time. Tell the competition it's lunchtime. Look, Edgewood is food. Benedictine can't see us. Aurora don't want smoke. Dominican wish they could beat us. Lakeland gets nothing. Marion ain't worth discussing. We flushing them SOE and busting that IIT. WLC, that business is unfinished. Cancel Christmas for St. Norbert and ain't asking for forgiveness. Take off on Rockford all day long, we stay gone. No need to mention that other school up in Maquon. The way I overate, bet you thought I was overweight. No debate, raking everything on the plate. It doesn't matter if you disagree, it don't relate. Nothing you could do to us, got more shooters than Golden State. The game's the same, it's just a modern style. Pull up in transition, hand checking's not allowed. They talking loud, we bust them down and walk them out. We coming for the title, no stalling, we balling now. Tween, has he stepped back? Is you like that? Touch the rim where your chest at? Is you like that? Skip through the lane, but a roll. Is you like that? All 24, you won't go? Is you like that? Well, people know the Cougars really like that. The CUC Hoopers really like that. Don't be stupid, you know we really like that. Wonderful. Put your ones in the air. Yeah. One of a kind, one of one. One time for your mind. One of them ones. One and only one. Everyone, anyone, all in one, all for one. Bleed for what I believe. Won't stop until the job's done. When all the dust settles, it's just me. Subtract 2 from 3. What other clue you need? The only number left for true to be. Pressure never made me fold, boiling hot and ice cold. Only stat I'm trying to know is final scope. For sure, 2 might enter the ring, but somebody soon to go. Cause when the fat lady sings, it's you and no. From Mercury to Pluto, numero uno. Big dog Cujo. Kudos to those who know it's business as usual. Here to kick the judo, you know in my buto. Go for the gusto, leaping through all the loopholes as fools go. Food for thought, nutrition. If it isn't love, then who is it? Can't stand the rain, count me out, new edition. Cheating the game's detrimental. Born on thirds, not an earned credential. It ain't the same as hitting the triple. Generation X made us proud to say the 80s raised us. Latchkey logic, nostalgic, nothing can phase us. Fast life flirtatious, dangerous and contagious. Betrays us, grazes us, and places us in cages. Outrageous, solitude's my habitat. Lone wolf, alpha cat, weather storms, Apollo Creed. I'm about that action, Jack. Test and vert, we used to touch the ceiling. Now I'm touching souls and spirits. That's a gut feeling. Bleed for what I believe. Won't stop until the job's done. When all the dust settles, it's just me. Subtract 2 from 3. What other clue you need? The only number left for true to be. Pressure never made me fold. Boiling hot and ice cold. Only stat I'm trying to know is final scope. For sure, 2 might enter the ring, but somebody soon to go. Cause when the fat lady sings, it's you and no. That's my time, y'all. Thank you.
University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
Hello, Cougar Nation, and welcome back to Geisman Gymnasium for half number 2 between the Cougars and the Muskies. Concordia will start off with possession and start off with a 21-point lead coming into half number 2. A dominant first half from the Cougs.
They were electric in the first half. They were able to keep it going down the stretch, too, even though Iona Murr left the game and she got in a little bit of foul trouble.
And they'll start off with Yone Murra back into the game in foul trouble with 3 fouls. King down low, has it stripped. And there's another turnover. Johnson firing for Levra. Sends it low and outside, and it heads up out of bounds.
Yeah, it was just almost like a sidearm baseball pass down there. And this didn't get as high a bounce as I think Johnson was expecting. Just went right out of bounds.
These two teams trading turnovers to start the second half. Jackson swinging over to Pedraza. Swinging back over to Jackson. Yone Murra to King, top of the key, back to Yone Murra. She'll pop a 3. She'll hit a 3! Aye, Yone Murra! Her first 3 of the day.
Yone Murra said, I've been on the bench for too long. I want to come back in and get some points.
Bartlett, uncontested short shot for 2 to respond.
Nice move by Bartlett, a nice little pump fake. Send the Cougar defender out of the way so Bartlett was able to tap it off the glass.
Jackson on the perimeter goes to Yone Murra. They'll swing over to Pedraza. Pedraza driving baseline, kicking out to Lopez. Swinging, Yone Murra going in and just couldn't find the pass. Has to quickly put up a short shot. It doesn't even reach the rim.
Yeah, it looked like she was expecting to make a pass, and when there wasn't one available, she just had to kind of take a half-hearted shot.
And they're going to get the immediate turnover anyways. Pedraza back to Yone Murra. Yone Murra sending Jackson across the baseline. ISO to the left side. That 3's short.
It was a good move by Yone Murra to direct traffic, so she had the open shot, but just couldn't get it to fall.
And Sadie Graybo steps out of bounds after receiving the pass, and that'll be another turnover for the Muskies.
Yeah, not how you want the start to half if you are the Muskies.
And this is really where Lakeland's going to struggle to come back. The Cougars aren't hitting all of their shots anymore, but Lakeland can't even get a shot off because they're just turning the ball over every possession.
Yeah, Lakeland has been able to get the ball back from the Cougs, but then hasn't been able to do anything with it, so they just give it straight back.
Johnson from the corner. Too long, but it is rebounded by Graybo. Sissy Lowe doesn't get the shot to go. She gets her own rebound, goes out to Levra. Levra back to Sissy. She'll go back up, kicking out to Graybo. Johnson pops a 3. That one's no good again. Jackson gets the rebound.
And that shot there right under the hoop is one you usually expect to make.
Yone Murra, corner 3, long again. And Johnson, uncontested layup down low. Cougars 0 for their last 4.
They've been going for some 3 balls. They just haven't been able to land.
Jackson slinging to Pedraza. Back to Yone Murra. Stepping up, driving. Back to Pedraza. Down low to King. Mid-range shot. Too easy for Grace King. Her 11th point of the game.
That's a nice adjustment there by the Cougs. They said, okay, we haven't been hitting the 3 ball here, so we'll just trade it for a short King jumper instead.
Bartlett, uncontested 3. She hits it. Her second of the day. Lakeland clawing a couple points back since the start of the half. Yonemera looking for somewhere to go. They drop coverage, and she pops an uncontested three. Alexis Johnson thought that Yonemera was so committed to pass that she committed to the passing lane and left her completely undefended on the perimeter.
And that was kind of a mistake you don't really want to make.
And Pedraza gets the steal. Jackson all alone to the rim.
And
Take a bow.
And that's how quickly the Cougars can flip this game. It was a three and then a quick turnover and then a nice layup for Jackson.
Corner three for Johnson. That one's no good. Graybo with the putback in the and one.
So you don't hit the three, but now you have an opportunity for a three-point play nonetheless.
That foul tagged on Grace King.
Be her second of the day. Going back to that Yonemera three, Jonathan, that really had no arc on it. It was like a straight laser almost.
I mean, Graybo taking your free throw. Eric, you want to get into a physics lesson. Today, you can get a great example of all kinds of different trajectories that end up in the same spot. We're seeing high arcers from Nimsicon, from Shamas. We're seeing darts from Yonemera. All sorts of different kinds of shooting styles and three-pointers. No-look pass to Pedraza. Steps back. 10 on the shot clock. Driving. Puts up the short floater, and she's fouled. Pedraza will head to the line for two. With a 2-point lead.
Nice play by Pedraza there, working the paint. She see there wasn't a clear passing lane open, and then she had the opportunity to go take it. Was able to work and get the foul on the shot.
First shot's no good. Second shot is good. 1 for 2 at the line for Pedraza. It's a 63-40 game. 4:30 down in the quarter. Bartlett all alone again for three. No good. Graybo able to escape the perimeter.
It was a nice play there by Graybo to get the offensive board.
And Abler able to throw it up short for the two. Back to a 21-point game for Lakeland. Pedraza all alone in the corner. That's long off the backboard. Vitkevichuta with the rebound. They'll get it to Pagan. Pagan to Graybo. To Bartlett all alone again. She instead goes into Vitkevichuta this time. Back to Bartlett. Graybo for three. That's well short and out of bounds.
Good effort there by the Muskies to try to save that. I believe there was Abler made a long run to keep the ball inbounds, but couldn't quite wrangle it.
And that'll bring us to the first break of the quarter. These two teams will catch a breather, and we'll set it down to Sam Smith, see what he's been seeing through the first 5 minutes of the quarter.
Hey guys, after that terrific half, maybe arguably the best half that the Cougs have played all year, they need to not take the pedal off the metal. They need to keep on doing what they've been doing, keep forcing turnovers, keep the pressure on, and the rest will work itself out. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sam. And Eric, we're right back where we started in this half. 5.5 to go, 21-point deficit for the Muskies. Cougars slowly adding on to their lead. It's not as electric as we saw from them in that first half, but they're doing what they need to do to keep the Muskies at bay.
Yeah, like you said, we're at exactly the same spot we were entering half, and if you're the Cougars, you're extremely happy with that. You haven't given up any points. This is exactly the same it was. You've been able to just, at this point, trade punches with the Muskies, trade buckets, and if you're the Cougars, you're content to do that the rest of the way.
Absolutely. As these two teams head back out onto the court, it'll be Cougar ball after the out-of-bounds call. Graybo's three shot out the sideline. Shamas will get it into Yonemera. Mara blitzes pass. Graybo slings it to Shamas. Shamas spinning out to Pedraza. Back to Shamas. Loses her dribble, able to get it to Pedraza. Now Yone Mara, 10 on the shot clock. Yone Mara driving, slinging for Dykastra. Got tipped too slow, can't get the three off. Now Shamas will drive, has to put something up, and it's over the rim. What about a violation if it had gone a second longer? Pagan with the rebound. She'll go to Graybo. Graybo
had the opportunity for a three there, passed it up.
They'll go down low to Abler. Now Pagan will take the three. It's no good. Loose ball. That's out of bounds off of Pedraza. It'll stay with Lakeland.
Cougars defense has done a job of making it so that the Muskies are having difficulty getting inside and then sort of force them to try to take the deep threes.
Abler going low to Bartlett, mid-range. Bartlett slinging for Graybo. Three. That's wide right, rebounded by Pedraza. Now sling long for Shamas. And that three doesn't even make the rim. It's an air ball. And it's out of bounds off of the Cougars.
Yeah, Shamas had the angle there in the corner, just didn't have enough on that shot.
Yeah, some of these threes we've been seeing from both teams are ugly. Sydney Nimskont back into the game for the Muskies. Sissy has it tapped away by Yone Mara. It's tapped away again by Pedraza. That's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to go with the Muskies again.
The Cougars, it feels like, have just been doing a great job. They're just running around and continually forcing jump balls. It feels like we've seen the possession arrow go back and forth all day today.
There's the luck of the possession arrow not switching at the quarter. It stayed with Lakeland for the 5 jump balls we've had. Bartlett for 3. That one's no good. Jackson went to chase down the rebound. Takes a hard dive into the bench. And it's going to go over to Lakeland. Probably should have let that ball go. And the Muskies will get a free possession. Nimscott's pass is tapped and not paying attention. Johnson tries to go straight back to Nimscott, who would have had a lane, but she wasn't looking for the ball to come to her.
And Nimscott's back was fully turned to that one. She turned it right at the last second, but at that point it was too late.
Yone Mara takes the inbound. Lakeland dialing up a little bit of a press. Yone Mara, she's just going to blitz down court. Sling it for Pedraza. 4-3. It's long. And Sissy gets the rebound after Dykstra sends it straight to her. Bartlett spinning. Short shot. She's fouled.
Yeah, Bartlett went up for that, and King just turned and hit her right on the arm.
Both of these teams in a 2+ minute scoring drought.
By far, I think the longest combined scoring drought we've seen so far through this game.
Haven't seen a bucket since the first time out of the half was called. And H.E. Bartlett a chance to change that. Her first free throw is no good. So she'll need that second shot to try and end the drought. And she does so. 20-point game ends a 2.5 minute scoring drought for the game as a whole. Cougars still on that 2.5 minute drought. Jackson cutting right, tapped out away by Nimsicon. Pedraza's there for the loose ball. She'll go to Yone Mara. Yone Mara with 10 on the shot clock. Blitz into the baseline. Puts up the floater, no good. Rebounded by Bartlett.
She was coming in high and just overcompensated by putting too much on the shot.
Nimsicon just chucks it up into the backboard, takes a hard fall. Yone Mara, layup, gets it in on the fast break. A much-needed bucket for the Cougs.
That was a nice play by Yone Mara, breaks the scoring drought, gets it back to a 22-point game.
Pagan to Johnson. Johnson trying to go low to Nimsicant. Able to finally get it over to Pagan. Pagan spinning, looking for somewhere, has no options. Yone Mera following that ball. Now Sissy high, driving, it's tapped away. 3 on the shot clock. Bartlett from Curry range, no good. Eric, that thing got up into the rafters, and they're going to say it's out of bounds off Grace King.
Yeah, that one had a high arc. Couldn't tell where it was going to land. Ended up just being a little bit short to the right of the rim.
Alexis Johnson takes a break with the fans on the bleachers. They got things going again. Grabo going to Johnson. 15 on the shot clock. Abler driving. Nowhere to go. Goes to Grabo. Now Grabo, baseline drive, and she is fouled. It's tagged on Pedraza. It'll reset the shot clock.
That'll put Pedraza in foul trouble, joining King and Yonomura with 3. But we're a minute away from the 4th, so it's not as big a deal as it would be if it had come, say, in the first half.
Sissy posting up on King. Finally gets a shot up. No good. It's rebounded by Abler. Long ball looking for Grabo. Picked off by Pedraza. Long pass for Lopez. Lobbing for Jackson. She's able to keep it in.
That was a nice reach there by Nevaeh Jackson to save that one from heading out of bounds.
He was trying to run a long possession. As Lopez passed up to 3. Yone Mera's fouled. Shot doesn't go, but she'll head to the line for 2.
And again, the Cougars have just been continually making a good job of forcing separation and making it so that the Muskies just haven't been able to do anything offensively. Like you look at it, they're 1 for their last 9 from the field.
Yeah, the last 4.5 minutes, the Cougars scored 2 points. This is the chance that Lakeland could have had to try and claw that deficit back, but the Muskies doing about as much as the Cougars, actually less, since that cumulative scoring drought started. Yone Mera, 1 for 2, rebounded by Abler. 33 on the left in the quarter. Abler going to Grabo. Grabo looking for something, goes to Bartlett. Bartlett puts up a 3. That's off the backboard. The bank closed, and the ball decides it's going to head out of bounds. Run off with the stock it's got left. It'll head over to the Cougars.
15.8 left here on the shot clock, so Cougars can take the last shot of the quarter.
Lopez gets it into Pedraza. Pedraza breaks the press. Pedraza driving, goes to Southern. Southern slinging for Shamas. And Shamas
got swatted in the face, it looks like.
Yeah, and that'll get tagged on Johnson. Shamas still holding her eye. As she'll head off the court to the trainers. Now sub in Abby Dykestra. As the Cougars got a quick timeout with Lauren Martin. Lakeland started to head off. Coach Lona is upset that Concordia got a little bit of a free 15-second timeout. Nickerson into the game. Pass is blocked. Pedraza's able to get it, and it's taken away by Sissy. And that is how the quarter will end. Cougars and Muskies, they struggle a bit, but the Concordia extends their lead by 2. It's a 23-point game, 66-43 Concordia as we head into the break. We'll be back in a minute for the final quarter between Concordia and Lakeland. And we're back on the Cougar Sports Network. 23-point lead for Concordia. And they'll have possession to get things started in quarter number 4. Final 10 minutes of action between these two squads.
Cougars just got to hold on for 10 more minutes to break a 5-game losing streak to the Muskies.
King can't reel in the pass. It's still loose on the ground. It's picked up and thrown out of bounds by Grabo. So it'll stay with the Cougars, and it'll also be a reset shot clock, too.
Yeah, I think they were saying that since it was just a loose ball, it doesn't take anything off the shot clock, so it goes back to 20.
King goes to Pedraza. Baseline, has some space, floats it to Nickerson. Nickerson to Pedraza. Fakes the 3, back to Nickerson. Long 2, no good. Rebounded by Sissy.
Some good ball moving there by the Cougars, but Nickerson just couldn't get the bucket.
Levra straight to the hoop, no good. Gets her own rebound. Kicks out for Grabo, kicking over to Johnson. Thought about 3, driving in, puts up the layup, lays it in for 2.
Nice play by Johnson there.
Back to a 21-point game, minute down in the quarter. Pedraza goes to Lopez. Lopez into King. King working on Sissy. King turning, just throws it up out of bounds.
Bit of an unorthodox play there. I think King was turning and then was trying to move the defender, but didn't quite get that motion. As a result, the shot just kind of went straight up and out.
.1 deficit, Levra. Going to Abler. Abler just basically hands it off to Sissy, who's fouled. She'll get the hoop and harm, a chance for 3.
And the Muskies finally break this from being a 20-point game, get it down to 19. Now they got the opportunity here for the 3-point play.
Sissy. Free throw's no good. Rebounded by Yone Mera. Jackson pushing the pace. Driving to the baseline, putting up 2. She's fouled.
Jackson saw that she could almost make a question mark shape if she ran around the outside and cut through the baseline. Got some contact, and now it'll be the Cougars shooting some free throws.
Trying to get points by any means necessary. And the first free throw is bricked. Second shot. That one's good.
So the two teams trade going 1 for 2, and it's once again a 20-point game.
As the softball team over in the student section, electric at seeing the Cougars score. 67 for Concordia. Sissy gets the putback.
Nice offensive board there by Sissy.
Onimera cuts inside, kicks out to Lopez. Back to Onimera, back to Jackson. Jackson looking for something, able to go to Pedraza deep. Pedraza kicking to King, down low to Jackson. All the way across to Lopez. Lopez gonna try and work her way in. She'll kick out to Jackson, taken away by Johnson. And Johnson is not fouled, doesn't make the shot, and then takes out Grace King. Rough run of it for Alexis Johnson.
Yeah, you know, you're going down, you're trying to convert the fast break opportunity. You don't get it, there isn't a foul call. You turn around to try to play defense and then just barrel into the defender. So nothing comes of it.
Onimera working towards the left. Cutting to the left. Driving from the left, and it's stripped away out of bounds. And they'll say it stays with Lakeland off of Onimera. Cougars got to recover. Bartlett working her way in, spinning, throws up for two.
Nice spin move there by Bartlett to turn and get the ball off the glass there.
Pedraza. Driving in, slinging for Jackson. Corner three. Well short, straight to Bartlett.
That one just went right off the front of the rim.
Bartlett goes to Abler, and Abler's fouled.
Got that blocking foul call on, I think, Grace King, so that'll be her fourth.
Yeah, that's foul number 4 on Grace King. You plant the feet, but you're inside the arc. So, Abler's first shot, no good.
Muskies have not been great from the charity stripe today, just 2 for 7.
Make it 3 for 8. Yone Mera. Working past midcourt, 6:38 left in the game. Yone Mera cuts right, slings for Lopez. Pedraza out to Southern. Yone Mera will drive. Yone Mera to Southern. Southern pump fake up for 2. Lindley Southern gets her first points of the day.
Nice play there by Lindley Southern. She received the Yone Mera pass and got it nicely off the glass.
And Jackson picks off the pass, working on Bartlett. Goes up for 2. First time out of the quarter for Lakeland. Cougars roar back up. They have that 19-point lead.
And we've been saying this Cougar team can flip the game on a dime. It was that just all of a sudden the Southern pass, Southern basket, Jackson steal, Jackson layup, and this is a 19-point game.
And we'll see what Sam Smith's been seeing next to the bench.
Hey guys, a bit of a slow start for the Cougars in this fourth quarter, but 4 straight points. It is loud in here in Geisman, and Concordia brings their lead back up to 19, and they look to close it out in this conference game. And just overall, amazing performance from the Cougs today. Jonathan, back to you.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, the Cougars looking to close it out. And, I mean, they're on pace to do so. This game, a very different story. Cougars on pace to hit triple digits after the first half, and that slowed down. 28 points in the first quarter, 24 in the second, 14 in the third. So far, 5 in the fourth. They lead by 19. And, yeah, they're en route to close it out. A 19-point deficit, that's a lot to claw back within 6 minutes and 7 seconds.
Especially when you consider that Lakeland did a decent job of stopping the Cougar offense there for a few minutes, but then they just weren't able to maximize the opportunities. Look at it. Cougars have 32 points off turnovers. Muskies have 9.
Bartlett bringing it down court. Goes to Abler. Abler pushing the pace. McPhee into Bartlett. Bartlett fouled on the floor. That'll get tagged on Lindley Southern.
Now Muskies will have a fresh 20 seconds to try to cut into the Cougar lead.
McPhee down low to Sissy. Sissy kicking out for Bartlett. Corner 3. That's off the top of the backboard.
Interesting that's not a dead ball.
And out of bounds off the Cougars. It'll stay with Lakeland. Yeah. Inch more to the left, you're hitting the shot clock.
Yeah. But now Muskies have 4 seconds to try to get something off.
Levra, 1 second left, has to put it up. It's no good. Rebounded by Pedraza. Sends the long floater to Jackson. And she's fouled as she goes up for the shot.
And Jackson thought it was a 1v1, quickly turned into a 1v2, but was still able to work through the contact to get the foul call.
And it's tagged on Levra. First shot is good. .20 lead, trying to make it 21. And hits it. Nevaeh Jackson, 17 points now on the day. 5 for 7 from the charity stripe. That's tapped loose. And fouled. Levra draws it. They'll tag it on Iona Mera.
So that's her 4th of the game.
And Grace King will head right to the scores table to sub in for her.
You know, Jonathan, you said that third quarter wasn't as great for the Cougars. They only scored 14 points. And you're the Muskies thinking, okay, they only scored 14. We can get back in this. Muskies just only scored 12.
Yeah, that's the problem. This is the chance, you know, that the Muskies, you know, if they were going to come back, you got to do it when the Cougars aren't shooting as well as they had been. But the Muskies, they have not been improving offensively. King sending it for Jackson. One-on-one with Levra, uncontested layup. 19 on the day for Jackson.
Nevaeh Jackson has been a fast break machine today. That's at least the 4th or 5th time we've seen her just be down the court with a perfect opportunity to get a layup.
Bartlett, long two, and she drills it. Style points on that bucket. Jackson working central, and she's fouled by Bartlett.
Bartlett trying to get the poke through, seeing that if maybe you poke it away from Jackson, you have an opportunity for a fast break yourself, but ended up making contact with Jackson.
Jackson inbounds to Pedraza. Pedraza driving, pushing it out to Lopez. King, uncontested from 3. No good, wide right, rebounded by Nimsicon. Long pass to Johnson. Shucking for Nimsicon. Uncontested 3 for her, and it's no good. Doesn't even get the rim, it's wide left. Lopez, double team, just has to chuck for Jackson. 4 seconds, Jackson's got to get across, and she does. Loose ball.
Jackson went right over the back of, I think it might have been Johnson and Nimsicons.
They're trying to figure out who that's going to get tagged on. And they'll tag it on Sissy.
Okay, yeah. That's
which, I think the thing there, Sissy did not get possession of the ball. She's diving in for the ball on the ground, doesn't get possession, and she's right in front of Jackson. So now it's just a body on the ground that Jackson's going to run into without possession.
Yeah, it was just a messy collision there.
Jackson hits her first free throw. She has taken some hard hits today. You look over behind the hoop, and those railings on the south bleachers have now been padded since her collision with those in the first half.
Yeah, that was an ugly collision for Jackson with just a few minutes left to go before the half, when ribs first into it. Nice to see that she was okay after that collision, that everyone was okay after that most recent collision.
Bartlett, pump fake, kicking to Nimsicon. Nimsicon just flinging it to Johnson. Johnson now looking for somewhere to go. She's going to work central. Stops, throws up a layup, and gets it to fall. 3:40 to go, 21-point game still.
Muskies are keeping it right around this now 21 to 23-point margin.
And they're going to tag an offense foul on Nevaeh Jackson. Johnson draws it.
Crazily enough, that's Nevaeh Jackson's first foul of the game. She has done a very good job at being physical but not creating fouls.
Well, sub Iona Mera back into the game. Replacing Nevaeh Jackson.
Almost an over the and back there by Nimsicons.
Bartlett, another high arcing 3. Misses the rim entirely again. Bartlett's hit a couple, and then the others have been ugly misses. And honestly, that's what you see out of those high arcing 3-point forms a lot. And they're going to tag an offensive foul on
Yeah, Pedraza was moving around there a lot, trying to turn. I think it looked like she got a bit of her knee up and just went straight into the chest of the Muskie defender.
And that's that charge. You plant your feet. They run right into you. You're just outside of the arc, and you draw the foul. Lauren Martin's still trying to converse.
Yeah, she thought that Pedraza just made a basketball move and it should have been a foul against her, but nevertheless, Muskie ball.
Nimsa Kant bringing it down court. Goes to Abler. Abler down low. And it's a travel. Vaitkevichuta travels too many steps, and it's another turnover.
Yeah, when you're down in the paint there, you get 3 steps. Vaitkevichuta looked like she took 4.
Yone Mura, a lob for Pedraza, and Pedraza will slow things up. Yone Mura's fouled by Nimsa.
And Nimsa trying to pop the ball out of Yona Mura's hand. Just went in and got, it looked like on the underside of, I think, Yona Mura's right arm there.
And both of these teams are in the bonus now at 5 fouls.
Both teams have several players in foul trouble, but with less than 3 minutes left in a blowout, not that big a deal.
Yone Mura will take the free buckets at the free throw line. It's both shots. That's now 19 on the day for Yone Mura. Bartlett with 2:40 left in the game. And a 23-point deficit. Will take the screen from Vaitkevichuta. And goes up, is apparently blocked. Rebounded by Vaitkevichuta, no shot, and they're going to call a foul on Hannah Lopez. That is a weird possession there, Herrick.
Yeah, I think Bartlett probably should have been called for a travel there.
It doesn't look like there was anyone too close to blocking that, was there?
Not to me. To me, it looked like she just came up and came down with it, but in the end, 23-point deficit. It makes no real difference. It's just personal view of the ref from down there. We've done, I'd say, a pretty solid job of calling the game today.
The Cougars will say ball don't lie. Both free throws were missed. And then they'll tag a foul on Lindley Southern. Now send Vaitkevichuta to the line. So both of these teams are getting a little bit of a free throw drill in late in the game.
Cougars have been the one to take advantage of it. They're 17 for 21. Meanwhile, Lakeland is now 3 for 11.
Oof.
Which that's in Lakeland. They shoot about 63%. So the fact that they're shooting sub 30 here today is.
Eric, did you ever play basketball growing up?
For 2 years in 7th grade, yes.
Okay, way back then, do you remember there were like those drills your coaches would do, and like they would track how many free throws you're missing?
Yeah, so my coach would do a drill where everyone shot a free throw, and if you didn't, you had to do it down and back. Everyone on the team had to do it down and back the court.
Yeah, we would have seen a lot of down and backs in the last couple minutes for Lakeland.
Absolutely.
Especially on that last possession. 3 straight missed free throws there. Cougars holding the possession, taking that time off the clock. Yone Mura, pump fake, drives in! Gets 2! Yone Mura!
Jonathan, what can you say about Yone Mura that hasn't been said already? I think we're running out of adjectives to describe her.
And she has been fantastic tonight. 21 points, 8 assists, and 3 rebounds on top of that.
And she's been playing clean, only 2 turnovers.
High arcing, long 2 for A.T. Bartlett. Going for some more of those style points. And Grace King and Lauren Martin starting to let the officials hear it as Lauren Martin's calling for a timeout for a while before it's acknowledged.
Yeah, I think she was calling that since the Bartlett bucket went through the net. She didn't get it for 3 seconds.
And it's going to be the final media timeout of the game. They'll take a break on the court. We'll take a break here at the Cougar Sports Network for a minute. We'll be back for the final minute of the game. And we're back on the Cougar Sports Network. 81-59, 22-point lead for Concordia. 21-point day for Ione Mera.
Yeah, this has just been, from the beginning to now, this has just been a complete game of domination by the Cougs.
We were talking about it there during the break, Eric. One of the biggest notable differences you can tell from last year to this year as Navia Jackson works to the near side and slings it across for Dykestra. Loose ball grabbed by Conte. One of the biggest differences is the fact that Ione Mera is a true point guard. That was something last year. Hannah Lopez was functioning as that point guard for the Cougars for a lot of the season as a freshman.
Yeah.
This year, you're still seeing Lopez with a lot of court time, but it's in that true shooting guard position. She's fit in there a lot better. Ione Mera is fitting that role as the point guard much more nicely, hitting shots. The passing is a huge part of that. That's something that was missing from this team last year. They could not string together passing possessions. There were a few games last year that this team, the scouting report for other teams would be the Cougars can't move left, not dribble left, they can't pass left. And that was something this team just couldn't work past. That's been different this year, partially through a lot of improvement from these freshmen becoming sophomores, getting more experience, and partially from having a true point guard like Ione Mera.
Yeah, having a player like Ione Mera who you can just trust. She's got 8 assists in this game. You can trust her to make the nice passes and get the opportunities, spread the ball around. It's just a nice feeling to have in general.
As Nickerson is fouled in the paint by Johnson. That's Johnson's 4th foul. That'll likely end her day as she heads to the bench.
You'd imagine here with 44 seconds left.
Nickerson, first bucket, drills it.
And that will end Alexis Johnson's day today. That was her 5th foul.
That was her 5th foul.
Didn't feel like she got five. I don't remember hearing her being called for fouls that often, but.
Abler slinging to Bartlett. High 3, airballed again. Nimsikon's able to keep it in bounds. Abler gets the putback.
Interesting play there by Nimsikon. Couldn't tell if she was trying to send it off Jackson, but instead she found her own player, which worked out just as well.
24 seconds left. You time this right, you have the last possession. Going low to Nickerson. It'll be a jump ball. And who else will it go to? It'll go to the Muskies. They've been winning that jump ball battle incredibly well today.
Unfortunately for the Muskies, it's the only battle they've been winning so far today.
15 seconds to go. Lakeland will likely take the final possession. Pagan going to Bartlett. Bartlett down low to Vate Kevichuta, and she's fouled. So we'll get another trip to the free throw line.
Just delaying the end of this game a tad bit longer.
It'll be Vate Kevichuta at the line again. She's 1 for 2 from the line today.
Just hitting at least one of them, make it so it's not a 20-point loss.
And that rattled around a while before it finally fell through there. So, Eric, after this game, what do we have to look forward to the rest of today?
Well, Jonathan, the rest of today, we got the men's basketball taking on the men's Lakeland team here. I believe tip-off for that's about 3:15 off the top of my head. So, yeah, Cougar fans get another game.
And Geisman Gymnasium on Pack the Sands Day at Concordia, Chicago. More packed than you might see it all season. It'll only get more so as we get closer to game time for that game. But game time for this one is done. Concordia, they defend their home turf and dominate the Muskies 83-66. A 17-point win for the Cougs.
Yeah, this was just from start to finish a mauling by the Cougars. I think it was like 2 minutes in, all of a sudden it's 12-2, and neither team looked back because it was just nonstop. You had Hannah Lopez going berserk from 3 in those first few minutes, and once the Cougars got the lead, it was never close afterwards. I think it got to maybe 15 at one point, but besides that,
yeah, the Muskies only outscoring the Cougars in one quarter. It was that fourth quarter, and we got a few of those garbage time free throws at the end there for that.
And yeah, the Cougars taking out all of their starters except Jackson there for the last few, so yeah.
28 points in the first quarter, 24 in the second, 14 in the third, 17 in the fourth. The Muskies only got above 20 in one quarter, and that was the fourth with 23. You look at some of those standout performers today, and honestly, I'm just going to get your opinion on it, Eric. Who's your player of the game for Concordia?
That's a tough call, because on the one hand, you know, I'm going to go Nevaeh Jackson, because she just had she had 21 points, 7 for 11 from shooting, 7 for 9 from the charity stripe. Just a dominant day from her, but she had a really good job of just anytime the Cougars got the ball and forced a Muskie turnover, it seemed she was all the way down the court ready to just lay it up off the glass and get some fast break points.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Iona Mara, and it's not shocking those are the two players we're going with. Totally different, two different halves for Iona Mara. First half, you saw a lot more of that point guard action, a lot more of those assists, and there were some beautiful assists in that first half. Second half, still saw some great assists, some great passes that didn't turn into points, but it ended up being a lot more of that scoring, those drives. We finally saw some three-pointers and then some free throws to close things out. Both of them tied for the lead on the game with 21 points over on Lakeland's end. They're led in scoring by A.T. Bartlett. 70 points on the day for Bartlett. Johnson, 16 points. And again, you look at kind of those stats. It's the tail of the game for the Cougars. 54% from the field, 41% from three, 82% from the free throw line. Those are great splits for a team.
Yeah, if you're shooting 54, 42, 83, that's incredible. Cougars have struggled at times with the free throw shooting, but they were on it today. They just had everything going their way.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're going to head away for 1 minute. We'll be right back. We have a post-game interview with head coach of the Cougars, Lauren Martin. What's up, Cougar Nation? I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network, here with head coach of the victorious Cougars women's basketball team, Lauren Martin. Coach, first off, congratulations on a dominant win here today, taking down Lakeland 83-66. And you look at that game, the first half, really the most notable part of the game by far, your team putting up 53 points in one half, shooting lights out from three, from the paint, pretty much from everywhere. So as you prepared for this game, were you expecting to come out that aggressive on offense?
I can't say no. You know, I felt like every shot was going in to start the game. And we had a lot of energy. And when we share the ball, energy creates more energy and opportunities to score. And, you know, we shot some high percentages today. And we work on it all the time. So translating what we work on into our games, props to our team, props to our girls.
Absolutely, and those shooting splits, they've been some of the best in the NAC since conference play has started, which really shows just how much this team has been improving as conference plays go on. Quick last look at today's game, though. That second half, you're leading with 21 points. What's the approach going into a half with that large of a lead?
I asked the girls what the score was at halftime, and simultaneously they all answered 0-0. So, yeah, it was a big half. But you can have, just as we had a big half, Lakeland, I give a lot of credit to them and how hard they play. They could have a big half. So, really, we talk a lot about today our mindset was sustaining 4 quarters of basketball. And even within that, you know that the opponent's going to have a run. But we did sustain their run, and they did do that. But to be able to, you win a lot of games when you get to the line 20 plus times and shooting 82%, almost 83%, is really special. So one big thing I'd like to point out is I don't know the last time we had 21 assists in a game. We had 15 at halftime, and that was our goal. We had specific goals, and we hit them today. And I'm just so proud of our team. We painted this picture at the beginning of the year about basically a puzzle that's just, and we literally laid a puzzle down, and there was no pieces put together, and we said, trust the process, keep working, and eventually the puzzle will build itself, and we're just kind of seeing that right now. So
absolutely, Coach. And as you look forward from here, you guys head on and stay at home against Aurora this upcoming Wednesday. You've moved up to 5-3 in conference play. How do you want to continue this momentum going forward?
You know, it's 1-0, right? Today is going to be over tomorrow, and so the girls get to enjoy it. They get to relish kind of in their win, and they get to, you know, just enjoy the locker room camaraderie for a few moments downstairs. But heading into this week, it's the same thing we always do. Monday's a new start to get at things, and it's a great way just to end the weekend out.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, again, thank you for joining us, and congratulations on a big win. Cougars take down the Muskies 83-66 in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. Don't go too far away, though, because we'll be right back in a few minutes for the men's basketball game between the Concordia Chicago Cougars and the Lakeland University Muskies.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.